Alright, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be quickly looking at the new key boss that was added into Wizard101. And we're just going to talk about the cheese way of doing it at the moment because, yeah, you can cheese this fight to a certain degree, I'd say. It's not like drastic, like one turn, whatever. Because this guy has like what 60k HP, but you got to keep in mind though that he has some dummy resist to the point where I think it's like above 200% almost, and obviously there's some cheese around it, right? And just so you can ignore the whole concept of the fight, essentially what you do is you have 3 people run into the fight, you have 1 person stagger join the fight. Yeah, stagger joining still exists, and using that to cheese all these fights is something that they forgot to leave out. Stagger joining lets you ignore one of the phases in the fight, because what happens is every 3 rounds the boss will summon a minion, and that minion will correspond to his actions. So that's why for the first 3 rounds he just decides to pass. He's like, you know what, I can't do anything without my minion, I'ma just pass. Once he does summon his minion, then he plays depending upon that minion. So for example, if it's a minion of taunt, he will start doing taunts. If it's a minion of jinxes, wards, auras, dots, pacify, global, curses, damage, there's so many different variations of minions. It's actually insane. And based upon that, he will react. But the whole concept of this cheese is being able to just pierce him. Yeah, you can pierce him if you have enough pierce. So what I just did was literally, I had infals, I had a shrike, we had pierce blades, and we just did backdraft, skull incendiate. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Obviously this is not the intended way. I will have a guide later down in like later in the day, or like whenever I get time, talking about all the cheats. But that's all you guys really need to know. Like, even if you're going in this blind, just being able to just stack pierce blades and just doing skull and cindy if you really want to farm this at the moment. Because hey, I know a lot of people want Burrower gear, I know a lot of people want to get spell elements and stuff like that. This is like probably your way of farming it at the moment, till they patch it and, you know, they make it so he either has a late cheat or something, because he doesn't have a late cheat, or at least I didn't trigger a late cheat at the time I'm recording this video. So definitely it's just really straightforward for that. But like I said, when they do patch all these things, the actual way is just playing dependent on the minion, because you want to basically the whole concept of the fight is, for example, if I'm a minion of curses, if you blade, that minion inflicts damage on himself, and then when he inflicts damage on himself, he increases the backlash of the boss. So essentially, I think from my understanding at the moment, this is just first impressions, is that you want to increase his backlash and you just want him to self-destruct himself, which is pretty interesting concept, I'd say. At least to me it looks like that, right? Because we have all these different types of minions that spawn in the fight, of course. And while I was recording, or while I was streaming, I was like going through so many internet issues, which is a weird timing, but we found that out of like stagger joining because of what was happening. So yeah, I would recommend that only 1 person stagger joins. For some reason, if you have multiple people stagger join, it bugs out the fight completely and it goes back to normal. It's not really bugging out the fight, it's just going back to normal. But having just that last person stagger join is very easy. And literally make sure you're in a group, of course, do your adventure party as always, and go free reign on the skull incendiate. Of course, have your backdrafts, make sure you have item card backdraft, regular backdraft, whatever, right? Most of you guys already know the routine at this point. To the newer players, I know it's kind of confusing hearing all these things, but like I said, more of an in-depth video in the next day or 2, because I do need to do some more testing on these cheats, right? I got a general amount of cheats. I expect there to be more cheats, of course, right? I haven't wrote down every little thing it does, but if you guys do really want to see the cheats, they are in the Discord underneath the gold key boss of everything that we tested so far. But like I said, well, later in the day or by tomorrow, you guys should see all the cheats listed on there and the strat, of course. But I gotta do a little bit of calculating on the percentages and seeing what is ideally the fastest. I mean, I think we got it to like a 4 or 5 round, right? And that's just with Pierce blades. But like I said, we were just kind of going based upon our like reference and just slamming Pierce blades for the first 3 rounds because he couldn't do anything. It's just his AI just makes it so he just passes and just doesn't do anything. Because like I said, the whole concept from what it seems like is he reacts based upon his minion, and then of course he does have shad hits. He has the 2-pip shad hits, and some of the spells are quite buggy because they hit you but they don't show any damage, and then right when the next round starts you instantly take damage, which is obviously not intended. But I mean, there's a couple things that are intended in this play. So I'd say for initial reactions, kind of interesting boss, right? The self-destruct kind of concept, right? And they all have like, depending on the minion, you're not allowed to do certain stuff, because for some reason when he activated this one cheat where it's like your magic feeds the shadow, he's a shadow bubble. I've never seen this bubble before. At least I don't remember ever seeing this bubble before, but it was a new mechanic and it just felt weird and it didn't give us any buff. It was just a bubble that just, I felt like it just canceled out stuff. But I didn't see any effects on my screen or anything like that. It was kind of interesting. We thought it increased our shadow gauge or something like that over time, but according to Matt, who was also in our run, he said that it was exactly the same. So that's why I didn't really do anything regarding that. So that's why I don't know. I guess it's just a bubble of cancellation, but we'll see with the whole concept. But this is a pretty good way of getting Burrower spell elements, and there is a new reagent that I've never seen before. I've asked some players and they think it's brand new. I don't know what it's for. I tried looking for a vendor. I thought it was like maybe like a new vendor or something like that, but there's no vendor in the patch notes. So some people are saying it's for rematches, but obviously our 2 rematches aren't out yet, of course. And yeah, it's just a confusing thing why there was a new reagent in there, unless players know that it's from something else and I'm just going insane. I mean, it is like 3 or 4 in the morning while I'm at the time of recording this video. It's very possible that I just overlooked something. It's very possible. But other content will be coming out soon. The rematches, of course, and another in-depth video on this boss. But just like I said, I really wanted to get this out there for you guys. So you guys, if you guys really want to farm Burrower spell elements, it's probably your best bet right now. But hope you guys enjoyed, right? Be on the lookout for another in-depth guide of this boss. But yeah, I just really wanted to upload this video for you guys. So overall, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.